Now the topic of this video is going to be how to hand pollinate your sunflowers. Around here, this is by the way Work with Nature vlog, as you probably know by now. The problem around here is that the bees haven't kind of caught on that there's a load and load of pollen to be had from these sunflowers, and they're basically not doing the job. And in some areas you may not have bees, which is something that's happening at the moment. A lot of bees are becoming scarcer and scarcer, so maybe you might want to be able to hand pollinate your sunflowers like I do as well. And in order to explain the whole thing, it's quite simple actually, but you have to know a little bit of know-how. First of all, this sunflower head is not the flower. The flower is actually inside here. There's about 200 flowers just in this little seed head here. And basically the way it works is that each floret will have a female part and a male part. The male part is like a tube and it's releasing pollen. The female part is a kind of like a stick-shaped thing that is pushing actually the pollen out of the tube or the floret. And what that does is it keeps pushing and pushing and pushing until all the pollen is gone, and then only then will it become fertile. And you know by the way it goes in this kind of shape. So it'll be coming out like that, and eventually you will be turning around like that, if that makes sense. And the reason it does that is because it wants to encourage cross-pollination between florets, but also between plants, so between different plants as well. Even though this is pretty a strong kind of self-pollinator, you do want a certain quantity of plants. Now I only have 3, and I'm going to get more seeds as well. I have 4 actually, there's another one coming there as well. But only 3 or 4 made it, because remember we're in the tropics here and this is not really the place for sunflowers. Anyway, so what you then want to do is you want to take some of the pollen, which will start at the edge. It starts getting pushed out at the edge of the florets, and you have to wait a while until the pollen kind of moves into the center and the edge florets become fertile. So you then would just very gently with a feather or a brush, you would just kind of I do it so gently with my fingers that I know that I'm not going to damage the little stigmas. And then I can also take it over to another plant and just kind of pollinate it that way. And I do that over 10 whole days. I do it about twice a day. Actually, it's only necessary maybe once a day, but I tend to overdo things. So that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do to hand pollinate your sunflowers. Now, I am going to get seed heads now ready. I covered them with netting in case the birds kind of catch on really quickly, and I have a feeling they might. And the way you know if the seeds are ready is by the blackening of the back of the actual head, sunflower head, and then your seeds start getting ready to be harvested. Now I can't wait to actually sow more seeds, more sunflowers, because I had this area covered in lots of kind of chilies. The chilies are still okay, but also sweet corn, and the sweet corn of course got munched in a big way. And so I have lots of little kind of planters made with lots of compost in them. I'm going to stick a lot of sunflowers in there basically. And I also covered the whole area with mung beans, so I have a kind of a green manure around those mounds, which is a lovely kind of technique that I'm finding is working well here as well. So that's it. That's all you have to do in order to hand pollinate your plants. I'm going to stick an annotation in here if you want to watch more Work with Nature vlog videos, just short videos. I'll put a link here now, there. And basically it takes you to a playlist where you can watch them if you wish. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.